The young man I am about to introduce is an actor as well as a comedian.
Who's been wowing the local Los Angeles clubs. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alan Feiman.
My father, on the other hand, used to play a lot of games with me, you know? Like he used to throw me up in the air and then walk away.
A silencer. Wonder if they kill mimes with these.
Nice having you.
I shouldn't talk with my mouth full.
That's okay.
So, you're Anesha, and I'm Alan.
This is Alan.
You're never going to believe, actually, how I spell my name.
How you spell it?
Allallallallan. Now, there's a reason for that.
What's the reason?
See, when I was a kid, my mother used to get very angry at me. She'd say, Alan, you come here right now. That's why I spell it with so many L's.
Oh.
Yeah, learn something every day. Yeah.
Watch yourself.
I'm sorry, this is good.
Do you mind if I put my crust in here? I don't really eat my...
Oh, you don't eat your crust?
No, not always.
There's a joke there somewhere, but I'm not going to touch it. Okay, sure, put your crust in there. That's okay.
Go ahead. Roast me. It's fine. I can take it.
I bet you can. No, it's just interesting that the other day, a lady came up to me and she said, you know, Alan, I could read you like a book. So I said, well, wait till you get to the climax.
You told me this one at chorus.
Oh, did I?
Yeah,
I'm
you did.
sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. But they never heard it.
No, they didn't.
Did you like it? Was it funny? Okay, I'll go back. All right, relax.
So do you know how many movies you've been in?
Well, I starred in the film in 1984 with Paula Poundstone. Do you know who Paula Poundstone is? Oh, she's a stand-up comedian. With Paula Poundstone and Chris Elliott. But Paula Poundstone and I were the stars. So.
What was that? What was the movie?
It was a movie. Although I changed my name for the movie because it was a non-union film, and I was in the union.
Oh.
This was in North Carolina.
So you couldn't...
I was afraid that I might get fined. It was a takeoff on Star Wars. It was a comedic version of Star Wars.
Okay.
So I get into a car, and I say to the actress, I say, so this is your car, right? She said, no, it's not my car. And I said, you mean we just stole an automobile? The director said, Alan, you sound too Jewish. You know, you mean we just stole an automobile? Well, yeah, that's what I'm Jewish. So he said, could you take that Jewishness out of you? Take that Jewish voice out. So all night, before we did the scene again, I was trying to, you mean we just stole an automobile? I was trying to flatten it.
What did he mean by take that Jewish voice
Because it was shot in the South, and there were a lot of Southern people,
Right.
and I guess it didn't fit to have a Jew in the Southern part like that. It was just he felt it didn't fit.
Right, right.
But he picked me for the part, so he knew that I talked like that.
Well, you sure took your time.
Yeah, I guess that's the same as thanks for saving my life.
So how did you start your film career?
I wouldn't say it's a film career, but
What would you call it?
well, I've been in comedy. I did some stand-up comedy, 2 TV shows, and I did about 2,000 Groucho Marx telegrams in the early 80s in LA. This would be like if, say it's your birthday and somebody sent a Groucho telegram for you to wish you a happy birthday.
Okay.
So I might say, Anesha, hi, I'm Groucho. Larry sent me to wish you a happy birthday. Now, I understand you're about, what, 29? Is that it? I must say you look terrific for 29.
Thank you.
For 20, you look like shit, but for 29, you look pretty good. You know, so, well, like it or not, I'm your birthday present, so you can unwrap me later. But, anyways, so that's the type of stuff I did, about 2,000 of those. And then I got to do Groucho Harpo and Chick.
2,000?
Yeah, over a 6-year period.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And I did a lot of celebrities. Did one for Dolly Parton. I said, don't you know he always stood so very tall behind you? And we wanted to remind you that we think you are the tops. Both of you. And Sammy Davis Jr., I did one from him. You know who Sammy Davis Jr. was? Yeah. But I'm going to shut up. I want you to talk. Go ahead. Okay, time's up. But, okay, now for real, you talk. I don't want, yeah, go ahead.
Enjoy your pizza.
Yeah,
So what was your time like in LA? You spent a lot of time there?
30 years, but first time it was 6, and I came back here, and then I was a regular on a TV series here. In fact, I played the voice of Pop in one of the Rice Krispies commercials. But they didn't use me anymore. I guess my pop pooped. So, seriously. So now I was a regular on TV series, Diamonds, which was a detective series in the late 80s. I'll tell you something, seriously. When I got the role, man, it was the happiest day of my life. I was crying. I was so happy. And I was going out with this woman, attractive woman, almost as attractive as you.
Almost.
Almost. And we were going out, and I had the kind of a carriage celebrating and everything, and it was great.
Down? Let's go. Come on. I agree with that.
We're not even doing it? And I never got to find out what we're not doing.
All right. She thinks that if we go downstairs and get into Susan Burns' penthouse, she can figure out everything that's happening here.
Who the hell is Susan Burns?
We were hired to find her, and then she got kidnapped. But I think I saw something.
Of course, she doesn't know what she saw.
But if I could get into her apartment and look around, it might trigger something in my mind.
Woman's intuition?
Right. He understands.
I understand.
Yeah, it is.
Then I did the series, and eventually went back to L.A., and then I did the Marx Brothers at Universal Studios. And, I guess growing up, I always felt that people were laughing at me, It's not rocket science. A lot of people get into comedy so that
Laughing
people...
at you or with you?
At me. That's a very good point. Yeah, they were laughing at me. So I wanted them to laugh with me. It's less hurtful. And that's how I tried to get into comedy. I remember I was at a Beverly Hills party, and I asked a woman, I said,
Fancy.
so would you, yeah, well, so I asked her, I said, would you like to dance? She said, keep dreaming. I said, well, it's not a dream, it's a nightmare. So I was lucky. I came up with something that...
You're witty. You're quick.
Well, I was sometimes I'm too quick. But I was that was a delayed reaction, wasn't it?
I was trying to hold it in.
Oh, I said, well, I was too. It's like, no, I'm sorry. Actually,
Maybe another slice.
yeah. One time I was actually paying for a meal with my credit card. And I put it in, but then I took it out too soon. So she actually said to me, you pulled out too soon. I said, well, that's what she said to me last night. I'm going to eat this until the laughs die down.
Oh, okay. Do your thing.
And they say that the pen is mightier than the sword. I mean, to be witty it's the greatest feeling of all.
I've never heard that before.
The pen is mightier than the sword, yeah. Could have been Shakespeare, I'm not too sure.
Some people are just naturally witty.
I'm not naturally witty.
Uh-uh.
Although when it's dark, I'm dim-witted. I'm dim-witted because it's dark, and yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, okay. So, as you can see, I'm possessed by Jerry Lewis.
So you said you want to get back into acting.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going about that?
Well, I just graduated at York University with...
Yes, you did. Congratulations.
Thanks for the clap.
You're welcome.
So anyway, I graduated with an honors BA in psychology. I can't tell you what my GPA is, because if I did, it would sound like I'm bragging. 8.5 out of 9, A plus, summa cum laude. Tell me something about you,
Is that about me?
Sure.
I'm not that interesting.
Oh, of course you are.
I work a lot, and I like to travel.
Yes.
I like to interview people I'm interested in. It's kind of...
Oh, does that mean you're interested in me?
To an extent.
To an extent. I see. Did I ever tell you the longest relationship I've ever had has been 6-7 hours? And then she deflated. But we finally got to patch things up.
Yeah.
Silence is golden, isn't it?
Yeah. Who were some people that you got to work with that influenced you?
Oh. Well, my idol was Jerry Lewis when I was a kid. I idolized him. I loved him. He was in The Nutty Professor, the original. In fact, he had a Q&A one time, and I cracked him up. I said, he would talk like this. Actually, anyway, so that was his character. But in the Q&A, he was serious. And I said, Mr. Lewis, I just want you to know that you changed my life. You actually changed my life. True story. When I went to see him in the movie, The Nutty Professor, with my parents, I was 10 years old. And when we left the movie theater, I said to my mom, Mom, I want to be just like Jerry Lewis when I grow up. And she said, shut up and get in the car. So he cracked up. You had to be there. It was one of those moments that, then I did an impression of him and said, oh, Mr. Lewis, would you like to see my demo tape? And he told me, sit down and shut up. So my mother said, shut up, get in the car. He said, sit down and shut up. So everybody's telling me to shut up all the time. And maybe that's why I try to be funny.
Oh, I'm the youngest of 2 older brothers, so I know what it feels like.
Oh, really? They tell you to shut up, too?
All the time. Yeah. I don't listen to them, though.
No, well, that's good. That's good. Have some more pizza.
Yeah, I will.
He doesn't go for me, maybe he'll go for you.
Daryl, would you just wire her?
I don't know what the...
Oh, come on, this is ridiculous. Look, you've got 2 choices. You either go down from the top or you go up from the bottom, okay?
How about if I meet you halfway?
So, what was the last thing that you worked on?
No, I've been studying psychology at York, so I haven't really done any entertainment. The last thing was just basically doing the Marx Brothers at Universal Studios, but I'm going to get back into it.
So you were still studying during the pandemic?
Yeah, online.
What else did you do during the pandemic?
Watched Trump a lot.
Oh, yeah?
It's like a soap opera.
Oh, yeah.
He's,
Was that entertaining to you?
yeah, I mean, the guy's a moron, but I like watching.
Say it again.
Guy's a moron.
Which guy?
Trump.
Why is he a moron?
Why? Well, all right, some people say he did very well for the states for the first couple of years, but, look at him. He's hanging around anti-Semites and white supremacists and stuff like that, and it's just...
Not a very good role model for a country.
No, not at all. But in psychology, the reason I took it was to figure out why I'm kind of crazy. How I do, why I do what I do. And it's interesting to find out about certain things about your brain and how it works.
Do you think that makes you crazier or sane?
Well, they say that if you know you're crazy, then you're not really that crazy. If you know
Being aware of it?
Yeah, being aware of it. So, but may I tell you, when I was in therapy, unless you wanted to ask me something, was there...
No, go ahead.
One of those things you had to be there, but when I was in therapy, my psychiatrist was from Pakistan. Was a guy, and he was from Pakistan, so you have to keep this in mind.
Okay.
And he asked me, do you mind if I tape a couple of our sessions so that I could show it to some of the psychiatric interns? I said, sure, but you have to know that when you're filming my therapy sessions, if I think something's funny, I may go for it, and it may not be completely natural because knowing that a full class is going to see this, I may not want to bare my soul. He said, well, that's okay, let's just do it. So I'm talking to him like I'm talking to you, and I said to him, I joke around about being gay. Does that mean I really am gay, and I joke around to cover it up? Or do I joke just to joke, and I'm completely straight? And he said, Alan, you have nothing to worry about. You're completely straight, you're not gay, you joke just to joke, and that's it. And I said, well, that's a relief. But you have the most beautiful brown eyes I've ever seen. Not you, him. Yeah. So apparently when he showed that to the class, they fell off their chairs. Now, no, you don't have to make up for it. If you didn't laugh, it's okay.
That was your therapy story?
It's true story.
True story.
Oh.
Do you go to therapy a lot?
No, but the therapists that see me go to therapy a lot.
I can imagine.
No, I was in and out of therapy most of my life. My therapist told me I have a split personality. charged me $200. I gave her 100, so I get the other 100 from the other guy. That's an old joke.
So what am I gonna see you in next?
Well, after this, I'll be taking a shower. You can see me in the shower if you want. No, I'm just kidding. And you're going to Africa, you said.
Yeah, I am.
That's great. And hopefully you'll be on a safari?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be, ideal.
I was in Africa one time. I was on a safari. In fact, I bagged a lion.
What?
I bagged a lion.
What does that mean?
Well, bagging a lion means you shoot him, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, so I bagged a lion. I bagged him to go away, but he wouldn't listen. Hung around all afternoon. He was the most persistent lion I've ever seen. But you ruined the joke by trying to get too technical, so it didn't work.
Sorry. What advice do you have for somebody who's starting a career in film? Or do you have?
Don't be a nuisance. Don't be an ass.
Don't be an ass?
No, just behave yourself and don't be neurotic and just behave. Otherwise, it might get you in trouble.
Have you ever gotten in trouble?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Probably.
Tell me a story.
Well, when I was on the series, I was a regular, but I was always neurotic. And, I mean, me, real, wondering if I did okay or not.
Right.
And I would always ask the director, was that okay? Was that okay? But, one time I just left the scene after I did it and didn't even, I wanted to not ask him. And then at that time he said the next day, hey, Alan, why'd you leave so quickly? I wanted to tell you how well you did. So you never know. Never know.
Right. The one time you didn't, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for me?
Settle down, get married, have a couple of kids. And as long as you got your health, that's the main thing.
You lost me at settle down.
Yeah. Well, no, you're a young kid. You're adventurous, so just go out and adventure. And when you meet the right guy, and he meets the right girl, and it's both of you, then maybe you should think about. I mean, they say marriage is a fine institution, but who wants to live in an institution?
Have you ever been married?
No. I told you the longest relationship I had.
Six.
Yeah. No, I've never been married. I had chances. I could have, but I got bored easily. But it wasn't them. It was me. I just, yeah.
Can't even ask you if you recommend it.
Well, I mean, I prevented my parents from getting divorced. They were going to get divorced, and then they said, "All right, well then you take them." No, I don't want them. You take them. No, I don't want. Well, then we might as well just stay together. So that was, yeah.
No kids?
Not that.
Not that you know of?
Yeah.
Yeah, I say
I
that
didn't
too.
want to say it was too quiet. I'm glad you did. No, I don't have any kids. And I'm afraid if I get a knock on the door one day, I don't want to face it. If the guy says, "Oh, hi, Dad, I'm your son," that'd be too scary.
Oh, no.
Want another pizza?
I think I'm okay.
Okay. All right.
You all right there?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah.
Feeling a little dry?
Huh?
Were you feeling a little dry?
No, I just wanted to do a little levity type stuff or something. I don't know. Oh, can I tell you a quick story?
Sure.
About when I was in grade 7?
Yeah.
In junior high, we used to take shop, wood shop and metal shop. You know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did too.
Well, you took home economics, didn't you? Or did you take metal shop too?
I did.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought that was more for the men.
I was the girl in the class.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I took it and I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I used to spend 20 minutes in the bathroom just so I wouldn't have to be in the class. And then the teacher, he kind of took pity on me. He said, "Look, Alan, well, first of all, putting things together. I'm Jewish. Jews don't put things together. They pay people to do it for them. But when I was taking shop, I really couldn't make anything. I didn't know how to do it. I was frustrated. So the teacher said to me, "Alan, look, before you make anything, make a draft." Mm-hmm. So I opened the window.
All right, Alan. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Anesha.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
That's all, folks.
Over the pig.
Yeah.